Welcome back, guys, and thanks for tuning in. On today's video, we're going to show you a quick review of my tablet gauge setup, which is this cool guy right over in there. Now, the first thing you're going to need, obviously, if you wanted to install one of these in your own car is, first and foremost, some sort of a tablet. Here we're using an iPad mini. I originally wanted to use the Torque Pro app, which goes with Android devices. Long story short, I actually had to purchase an Apple product for work-related reasons, and since I had an Apple tablet, the app that I got in order to set up my gauges connected to the ECU of the car is the OBD Fusion app. So if you're going to be using a tablet that is going to be running on Android, I would recommend the Torque Pro app, which is probably the most well-known one and the best one. And if you're going to have an Apple device, you're going to want to use the OBD Fusion if you want to, but that's the one that I chose based off of the reviews. Now, apart from the tablet and purchasing the app, you're going to need one of these little guys in order to connect to your ECU. This is an OBD connection port. There's a lot of different kinds, a lot of different manufacturers out there. OBD Link, BAFX. This one is V-Gate. They have a couple of different versions. This is the second version, I believe. When I say that this is the best $30 upgrade that I've done on my vehicle or mod to my vehicle, that's not counting the tablet. This is assuming you already have a tablet, but this guy I believe I got for around $20 on Amazon, and then the app itself is around $10. Now, there's two different ways to connect to your tablet slash app that you're going to be using, and one is with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. I chose the Wi-Fi version. Don't ask me why. For some reason I thought that that was going to give me better connectivity. And then the other thing is obviously setting up your tablet so that it's going to be secured in a position or a location. I chose to do a GoPro mount, which is the curved mount right over here on my dash, and then what I did was connect two different GoPro adapters. I had to trim it down and make it fit, attached to the back of the iPad, and the iPad is in a case, so this is actually on the case, not the iPad itself. And then I use this way to secure my tablet, and then it clicks right on in like this. If you need to connect it obviously for charging, the access ports on this side, it's easy to run a cable to your cigarette lighter and so forth. I chose not to do any sort of screwing into the dashboard or using any sort of metal brackets, just because I didn't want to be ruining any particular pieces of plastic, so this is the way that I chose to do it. Initially I had this with a suction cup mount right over here on my window, which was actually very secure. However, I did notice some visibility issues that I didn't like, and this was the place that I ended up choosing to secure mine on. Okay, so obviously once you have the tablet, the app installed and connected to your OBD2, you are going to load up your app. Now, I already have mine set up, so this is my personal dashboard that I have set up. I am monitoring engine temperatures, intake air temperature, mass airflow rate, intake manifold absolute pressure, and then a calculated horsepower and torque. The app is actually pretty easy to navigate through. It gets a little fun once you start building stuff in it. It does have a performance mode, which we're gonna try to open up here. And this is a cool little feature where you can actually do a quarter-mile run if you wanted to. It's going to track your time. It's going to do your eighth mile. It's going to give you a calculated horsepower, torque, and so forth. I haven't really played around with this too much. The dashboards themselves, you can set up multiple dashboards with multiple different things to monitor. So I'll show you again, this is the dashboard that I have here. So if you actually go to a different dashboard, you can go up to your menu and we can add display. Now you can add a radio gauge or a digital gauge. So the radio gauges gives you different options of circular gauges, and then the radio gauges. I'm going to show you look like this. So let's say you're going to pick one of these. Once you see about loading it up, you can see what's going to be monitored. When you have this connected to your car, it's going to tell you kind of what's available as far as for you to monitor. So this is a new dashboard here. We're going to add something new to monitor. So let's take a look and see what actually is going to be some of the options for you guys. So in here, you're going to see some of the options that you can monitor: fuel, instant fuel economy, fuel rate, things of that nature. You do have some sensors that you can monitor, different sort of acceleration on different axes. These calculated PIDs are the, I think, coolest ones. Intake manifold, absolute pressure, boost, acceleration, engine power, engine torque. I'm not entirely sure how the engine power, the engine torque is actually calculated, so I'm not sure if this is using the accelerometer that's built into the tablet and calculating it like that, or if this is actually pulling some sort of information from the ECU itself in order to give you that. If you happen to know, drop a comment down below actually and let us know. And then here you can see all sorts of other information that you can monitor: calculated low, fuel system, short-term fuel trim, RPMs, vehicle speed, ignition timing, intake temperature, mass airflow, throttle position, your O2 sensors and voltage. So again, once you have this actually connected to your vehicle, you will see what specifically to your vehicle you will be able to monitor, and then you can choose to set up your dashboard. So the way you build your dashboard, let's say we're going to use a new one. So let's say one of the ones I don't have, let's take a look, absolute throttle position. So I don't have this one, so you can click on it. And then it's going to give you the min and range max. You can just click done, and it's going to plop that onto your dashboard. So again, this is my dashboard here. So we are playing around with the new dashboard. You can actually grab this guy and move it around as far as positioning and so forth. Now, one thing, if you are OCD like me, once you build your dashboard, in case you don't like how thick the borders are, the color, the positioning of the letters and anything like that, you can actually go into this particular gauge that you're monitoring, and under the style, display configuration, size, you can change all of that stuff around. It takes some getting used to and playing around, but if you want to do that, you can do it. So when I did it, I kind of wanted to make mine a little narrow and add color and this and that, and you can spend hours playing around with that if you actually really wanted to. And then, again, if you're OCD like me, you can actually assign it different positions, measured out positions, as opposed to just dragging it and letting it plop it, just so everything is perfectly symmetric. Well, this is a cool little device. So again, apart from obviously having the tablet and purchasing the app and the OBD sensor, this is going to be something really neat when you show up to a car meet or you're just with your friends. You know, this is definitely an eye catcher, and it's kind of real neat when you're driving around to be able to monitor a lot of these things. So hope you guys like a little brief showing / review of the OBD Fusion app and how it works connected to a vehicle. As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions for me at all, anything specifically, please just drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. One quick little update on my Z1 Motorsports BrakeMaster cylinder brace. Now that I've actually had the opportunity to drive the car around for a little while, definitely I will say worth the investment, at least from my perspective, of the $150 that it cost. I will say in my initial review, I sounded a little hesitant about whether I was feeling a significant difference. However, that was literally me driving the car around the block immediately after I installed it for only a few minutes. Now that I've been actually driving the car for quite a while, I will tell you I appreciate the difference in response in all of the different driving conditions that I've experienced. So definitely for me, it has been worthwhile. So wanted to give a quick update on that. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can check out that particular video right up here.